Celebrating Beethoven and more, we take a look at one of Germany's best-loved classical music festivals.
It's the largest of the smaller festivals, the Beethovenfest in Bonn. Every year in autumn, Beethoven's birthplace is abuzz with activity. And this is the woman who's orchestrated that activity for 10 years, Ilona Schmiel, the Beethovenfest departing director.
A festival is eine Auszeit.
A festival is a time out. It's a kind of island you take yourself off to, a time to spend with other people, to deal with a live event. It's certainly a very valuable ritual.
In 2013, more people than ever came to Bonn, a record number of visitors in Ilona Schmiel's final year on the job. So what makes a festival successful? The tempo is set by the stars. They attract the audiences and the attention, but have to be booked years in advance. They score points outside the classical community, at public viewings like those in Bayreuth and here in Bonn. Is classical music still possible without big names?
Stars are always the seasoning in the soup. But it's important for them to occasionally venture outside the repertoire which has distinguished their star cult.
Anna-Sophie Mutter dared to do that at the Beethovenfest. In 2011 she played a contemporary work by Wolfgang Riem.
Our aim is always to make sure that at least 2/3 of the pieces we present can only be heard live at our festival.
Contemporary classical music has it especially hard. Many festival organisers think it scares off audiences. The Beethovenfest begs to differ and commissions works by young composers, like Zeynep Gedizlioğlu from Turkey in 2013. You have to be able to afford to take that stance. Like many festivals in Germany, the Beethovenfest is publicly funded. That makes the German music scene attractive for musicians from around the world. Many of them study here and get their first engagements in Germany. Nowadays, classical music in general is more international than ever. For music managers like Ilona Schmiel, that means travelling, networking, finding sponsors and promoting co-productions, always watching what's going on elsewhere.
I'd say we're a bit like truffle pigs, rooting around for great undiscovered talents.
The multi-talented percussionist Martin Grubinger, for instance, made a name for himself at the Beethovenfest. And conductor Gustavo Dudamel. At the tender age of 23, he replaced an ailing colleague at short notice.
People returned their tickets and complained about me. Now we have this young director and she replaces the star in the closing concert with a no-name, some young artist from South America. Where's that going to go?
Now Dudamel is a star himself and often returns to Bonn. At the same time, audiences are getting older. So, concert houses and festivals use educational programs to counteract the trend. In Germany, the Berlin Philharmonic were pioneers. These days, such programs are almost a fixture in the classical music business.
I could say education has become entertainment.
The Beethovenfest takes a slightly different approach. School kids become managers. They organise a concert, from the publicity to liaising with the artists. Like organist Cameron Carpenter.
At this age, they care about their peers and their friends. One student manager attracts 50 to 100 fellow school kids. A new community comes into being. It's cool to work here.
So there's no fear for the future. Ilona Schmiel says a festival has to be more than a few whirlwind days a year. It has to consist of long-term projects and artists who enjoy returning. She herself is leaving to Zurich's Tonhalle Orchestra to promote classical music day in, day out.
Darum geht's.
That's what it's about. These fantastic moments, providing a new experience every day and every evening that we organize.
Etwas neu zu erleben.